Accu-Stats Video Productions presents from Reno, Nevada, the 20th annual SANDS Region Open. I'm Bill Incardona along with Buddy Hall. Buddy, this is going to be a great finals. Rafael MARTINEZ is the only undefeated player left in the tournament. But of course that doesn't matter because this is one single match for it all. His opponent, Johnny Archer.
Mr. Martinez wins the last.
Martinez has really played beautifully this week. He defeated Archer earlier in the tournament, 13 games to 10. And not only did he defeat Archer, he cut down a couple other large redwoods like a guy called Bustamante, Varner. So therefore, you know, that just goes to prove how well he's been playing. You don't beat players like that if you're not playing well.
Rafael's been shooting in the 950 clip.
And for all the people out there that are viewing this through Accu-Stats, you know what the 950 DPA means. That means that it's well above world-class speed. 950 is something that I would just love to shoot one time, just once. He's been shooting like a 950, 938, 947, you know? I mean,
958.
If he shoots like that again, I mean, what kind of chance do you give Archer?
Well, Archer shot a 940 something his last match.
Well, it all stems from opportunities, and that means that whoever breaks the balls the best, gets the most shots off the break, figures to win this match.
Both of these fellas are pretty fresh. There's only been one match difference. Archer's had to play one match this tournament more than Martinez, because Archer and Martinez played for the hot seat. So when Archer got knocked over, he just had to play one extra match.
Well, Martinez is very, very confident. I know that. Well, tell me about being in the hot seat. How do you feel when you're in the hot seat? Do you feel that the person in the hot seat is expected to win, so therefore there's more pressure on that person, or you feel that the person in the hot seat has more confidence because he's the only undefeated player? How do you feel?
I feel like that the person that's in the hot seat has had the best tournament, so they're actually playing a little better than whoever comes to them.
And let's talk about the win that Rafael has over Archer. How does Archer feel about that coming into this match? How do you feel he feels?
Well, he shook that off. That was last night. This is today.
Okay. So therefore, these two players probably are playing the best pool of the tournament, so they deservingly they're here, and we're gonna see some great 9-ball. I expect. Pocketing the one on the side with another ball. The 4 and the 6 immediately to the left side of the table, kind of close together. He does have enough room to pocket the 4 into the lower left-hand corner pocket, but he's going to have to play just about perfect position on the ball, buddy.
Yes. That's the way I see it. He needs to come back at least to the center of the table. Oh, he's come up high.
No, he hit the point and it threw him back toward the 8. Fortunately for him, he didn't get in behind the 8, so therefore he does have a shot on the 4. This would be the first key shot of this rack. Notice the position of the 6, lying rather awkwardly near the side pocket, so therefore he's going to have to play pretty good position on the 6 if he's able to get that far.
There was the kicker, was actually the 4 ball. The 4 was the one that... He must have had room to make that ball, though. He just didn't make it. That's the first ball I've seen him miss this whole tournament.
Yeah, that is one of the very few balls that he has missed in this tournament. Archer steps to the table with nothing but a long rail bank or a possible safety behind the 5-9 with the cue ball. He has an option. He can play both the bank and the safety at the same time. Is that the way you see it?
I see him playing the bank, safety, and position. He looks like he's just ducking.
Well, he decided not to go for the bank. He says, well, a bird in the hand's worth more than 2 in the bush. So therefore, he went for the safety, positioned the cue ball behind the 5-9. Martinez steps to the table with nothing to shoot at. Now, he missed the 4 ball, so I guess this is what he deserves, I guess. But anytime a world-class player steps to the table, just because he has the kick, that doesn't mean he can't do well. He's an excellent 3-cushion billiard player. He knows the angles. I look for him to hit the 4 ball without any problem. Very nicely. He rolls to the 4 ball without giving up a shot. Now that's an excellent shot.
That's a great shot. I don't know what the combination looks like, or if there is. He's not even going to look at it. Well, yeah, he's looking at it now. It's awful close.
Well,
to get down and look at it like that, it's awful close.
He's really taking a long, hard look at it.
He's shooting.
Yes,
he's coming.
He's chalking up his cue. He said, well, this is about as good as I can get on this combination. I don't really have a good safety here, so let's go.
Yeah.
center ball, making sure that you don't turn to 4 away from the angle that he needs to hit the 6. Perfectly executed by Archer. It looks like he's well on his way to capture the first game. All the balls are on the table, placed quite nicely.
It came up there where the ball just landed perfect. Yeah, I don't see any problem here. Just come out to the middle of the table, play for a nice little cross angle on the 7. That's well done.
Yes, and it looks like the young man from Mettle, Georgia is going to capture the first game of this match.
Actually, he's from Raleigh, North Carolina now. He's born and raised in Mettle, Georgia, but he's living in Raleigh. He tells everybody he's from Mettle, Georgia, which he is. That's where his mother and father still live.
But since he's been married, he moved to Raleigh since then.
Right.
It's actually the country boy got out of the country and went to the big city.
You got it.
Right? All
you
right.
got it.
This is game number 1. Archer preparing to sink the 9 and take an early 1-0 lead in the match. Yeah, Archer probably feels this is his position. He belongs here. You know, he's won the world tournament, 3 times.
1 time.
He's only won the world tournament once? Twice.
The world tournament 1 time.
1 time?
1 time.
We're going to start all over again, you and I. I'm going to make a statement. You're going to correct me.
Johnny's won the world.
Twice he's won the world tournament.
Yeah, he may have won it 2 times, and Earl has won it 2 or 3 times.
Johnny has won the SANDS Open how many times?
3.
3 times. So therefore, he believes he belongs here.
Yeah.
He's more comfortable in this position.
The only person that's won more SANDS tournaments is Mike Siegel. But Johnny has a chance to tie him here with a win here today. Him and Mike Siegel will be the only persons to ever win it 3 times.
Pocketing 2 balls on the break and coming up with a very nice shot on the 1. All the balls are spread nicely on the table. 2 balls in the center of the table next to the 5. 4 ball on the left-hand cushion next to or closest to the lower left-hand corner pocket. The key to this particular rack, naturally, is position on the 2 to drop onto the 4. That's the key to this rack, buddy. How would you play this shot?
I believe I would play position for the corner down here instead of the side, because the 9 ball, the angle that you come off the 2 toward the 9, if you try to miss the 9, you might go into the back side of the 4. So I would play it just like that.
That's exactly how he saw it. He played position the same way you would have played it. He's got himself a nice shot on the 2 with a decent angle on the 2 to drop nicely on the other side of the 7 for position for the 4. The 9 was an possible interfering ball if you play position for the side, so therefore stay away from that. Take the simple route, and that's what he did.
Right, because if you play it in the side and you have to draw your ball a little bit to miss the 9, you might go into the back side of the 4 with the 6 up there. The corner pocket here was the place to play the 2.
Now, he hit that shot a little roughly, but the pocket accepted it. These are really forgiving pockets on this 4.5 by 9 gold crown table, buddy. And I think all the players out there have already factored that into their play. Now, had he been playing on a tight table, he would have hit that much cleaner. But, nevertheless, he was still able to put it down, and he's on his way to capture the game number 2. Notice how meticulous he is out there. He's paying attention to every little angle and making sure that he doesn't make any mistakes that would preclude him from getting out this particular rack, because to be a champion, every time you're expected to run out, you must run out, and that's what he does probably as well as anyone in the world. Every time he's expected to run out, he does run out, and he does that by just paying close attention to every angle, making sure he doesn't make really any unforced errors. That's rack number 2. The Archer, who now leads in the match 2-0.
Archer wins game 2. He leads the match 2-0.
So that missed 4 ball in game number 1 has proven to be fairly costly, even up to this point of the match, 2-0, whereas Martinez may have been ahead 1-0.
Right.
So that's already 3-game difference.
And He hasn't been able to come back to the table since he missed that.
Well, he came back to the table when he kicked softly against the 4, which he then gave Archer that long combination 4-6, and he hasn't came back to the table since then. Archer's break seems to be working quite well, at least in the first.
Johnny moved from
First
there
racket.
the last rack. The last set he played, he started out breaking from right where he's breaking from right now, but he eventually moved over to the right-hand side of the table and actually broke out in the table a little bit.
Now, there was another edge that we didn't discuss that Archer may have coming into this match. In the semifinal match between Archer and Bustamante, they played on this table, so Archer went to school in the regard that he knows where to break from, he knows how the table's playing, and he feels more comfortable. So therefore, once again, pocketing this time 3 balls on the break. 4 ball has taken this position in front of the side, but of course, the 3 ball is the ball he'll be having to shoot, and he can't see it. So now he's going to have to push. Rafael's breathing a lot easier out there. I'm looking at him now. Let's take a look at Rafael now. Rick Bowling, our cameraman. Here's Rafael. He's a very cool character. Rick Bowling he's a very cool character. Believe me, he shows no expression whatsoever, no matter what happens to him. That's the expression he'll have throughout the entire match.
He's all business.
Yes, he is.
He's all business. It's hard to push out here. You can't push out down here. You can't push out to the bank. You can push out to a kick. You can't push out to let him shoot across the corner because it's a natural to push him to bank it across the corner and play position.
And you can't kick, so therefore you're going to have to do one of the...
He's pushing him all the way down to kick.
This is a legal push out. Mr. Martinez has the option.
I would have never done that. I mean, he left him a shot.
Well, he left him a shot cross side, which carries natural position, 2 cushions toward the 4.
Left him a place to bridge and everything.
And very nicely executed. Martinez out of the chair, drilling 2-0, says, "Hey, I came to play."
Well, that shot there, yeah. I can't believe Johnny I believe Johnny was trying to get him all the way to the end rail.
All the way to the end rail?
Yeah, to just leave a kick at the 3, kick behind the 3. To kick behind the 3 and nothing more.
Notice how hard he hit the 4 into the pocket, knowing that he's going to go into the 6. Myself, here's the way I would have played that particular shot. I would have hit it much softer. The 6 would have came out and snookered me. Therefore, he would realize that was a possibility. He hit it much harder than that, ensuring him that the 6 wouldn't come in between the cue ball and the 5 ball, and he's on his way to capture his first game.
This Rafael boy has been playing great.
He certainly has.
Not good, great. He is one tough customer now.
Game number 3 goes to Martinez, who trails in the match by 1 game, 2 games to 1. This is a race to 15. And the race was to 13 throughout the tournament, but the finals is a race to 15.
Yep.
Now, the format used to be 2 out of 3 sets, race to 7, or race to 9.
Race to 9, 2 out of 3 sets.
What do you like better? Do you like race to 9, 2 out of 3 sets,
I like
or
one
just
race.
one single race for all the marbles?
One race. Well, I like one race because I don't like having to get ready for 3 matches in one set.
Okay, that's understandable. You got to psych yourself up just too many times, and you might not have it. But meantime, Rafael pocketing a ball on the break, the 1 on the side. The cue ball comes to rest finally near the upper left-hand corner pocket. Unfortunately, he isn't able to see the 2, so therefore he has to push.
He just pushed to the end rail here and say, "Go on, Johnny."
The foot end rail or the head
right
end
down
rail?
there by the 8.
Okay, Buddy says just push it to the end rail by the 8 ball down at Rafael and give it to Johnny. If Johnny wants to shoot it, it's not a guarantee to make this shot, right?
No, I wouldn't say that this is a guarantee, no.
This isn't a gimme, is it?
No, not hardly. He got half a pocket over here by the 6. He don't have a shot here. I mean, he just got to give this back.
Well, what about cutting the 2 in the lower left-hand corner, billiarding into the 9, setting the 9 cross corner, making both balls in the same pocket?
Billy, you wouldn't shoot that shot for love nor money.
I'd shoot it for your money, though. Well, I'll tell you what. If he passes this shot, which inevitably he's going to, because I can just look at his face and tell you that, Rafael will get out of his chair and shoot that shot.
The shot you just said?
Yeah.
He might, right? Rafael's got more.
He's got a lot of firepower, and he just loves it when the balls just go in the pocket and you hear that sound that they make going to the back of the pocket.
Right.
Hitting him at warp speed.
What is it we used to say? He's got more nerve than a high diver?
Yeah, and then some. Didn't I tell you? Okay, he played it safe, crossing the 2 up table around the area where the 7 and 8 are laying. So now Archer has a decision to make. Now, what options does he have available to him here, buddy?
I think he has the 7-ball shot there. He has a 7-ball shot. If he doesn't have a 7-ball shot, I don't know.
I think that the 2 and the 7 are really close together, if not frozen. If that's the case, he doesn't have that shot.
Well, then he's got to be worried, really worried about the 3-ball right here then.
Okay, he was able to avoid contacting the 3, setting the cue ball back down the table. Notice the position of the 6 and the 9 here in the lower right-hand corner. If he sends a 2 in that area or in that direction, he should be able to get some good action from this particular shot. Let's take a look at it. There goes the 9. It is gone. It is gone. Game number 4 goes to Martinez, ties up the match at 2 games apiece.
The blast.
Yes, sir. There wasn't any hesitation, There wasn't no big decision what I want to do, Walk around the table 2-3 times, Look at the angle, measure it up, boom, he got down. It was all over.
He knew he was going to shoot. Johnny's a little unhappy because he didn't feel like the 9 should have went straight in. He probably felt like he was playing the 6. Which I think there, all you do is you just try to bank the 2 right back between the 2 balls and see what happens.
Well, if you're that accurate, then you might as well just bank it for the 9.
Yeah.
Okay, pocketing a ball on the break, the corner ball. Cue ball once again going down the end of the table where it was the last time he broke the balls. This time he has a shot at the 1, I do believe.
Does he have a shot?
But it's not a very good one. It's very close whether or not he can pocket the 1. From my vantage point, it looks like that he may have a shot. And if he does have a shot, we'll look for him to elevate on this particular shot, sending the cue ball cross table for position. No, it looks like he doesn't have a shot.
He's ducking.
Well, now the 2 ball becomes a big ball. He was able to avoid
the cue ball
behind the 9. He needs contact there. He wasn't able to get enough of the 9 to put Archer behind the 4. I do believe Archer has a shot on the 1. And I look for Archer to bank the 1 right underneath him now because he has the assistance possibly of the black ball, the 8 ball there, that it may help him pocket the 1 on this shot, buddy.
This is a very high percentage shot here, a high percentage win shot here. If you just get it inside the 8, if you get it inside the 8, your chances of making this ball are real good.
And if you happen not to pocket the ball, you have all the interfering balls, the 5, 3, 4, and 8, for the 1 to possibly hide behind. So therefore, this is a very high percentage shot.
He knocked it right in, didn't he?
He certainly did. He didn't need any assistance from by the 8. He knocked it right in. Position on the 2 was natural, so therefore it was an ideal shot considering the circumstances.
You go 2 rails here?
Yeah, I go 2 rails, making sure I get away from the cushion. Mm-hmm. Go 2 rails there, toward the 3. But make sure that you pocket the 2 because this is a very deceiving shot. It's not an easy shot by any means. I mean, 2 cushions, leaving himself a little bit of a testy shot on the 3, but if he's able to put it down, the remainder of the rack should play rather routine, maybe with the exception of the 4, 8, 9, because there's 3 balls very closely together there. Anything can happen. You have to control the 4 when you pocket the 4-8 combination, and then you have to make sure the 9 doesn't bite you.
The combination lays good, though. All he's got to do is come back to the side, to the dot or better. To the center spot or better. Right there, he's in real good shape, I believe.
This is very good because he's on the proper side of the 4. After contacting the 4, he'll be going up table away from the 9. Then he won't have to worry about dealing with the 9. So therefore, all he needs to do now is pocket the 4-8 combination, and then he should have a shot on the 4.
What he should really be cautious of here is the 4 sticking on the rail and him coming out on the table just a little too much because the edge of the 9 might nip him. He's got to make sure that he doesn't come out hardly any farther than the 5 is out in the middle.
So therefore, if he does make a mistake, it'll be that he won't be able to see enough of the 4 to pocket it because the 9 may. Well, he played it a little haphazardly, I thought.
Yes,
I didn't think he should have done that. In the meantime, the 4 ball has taken a position next to the 9. He may have a billiard here, and I do believe if I was Martinez, I would call Scott Smith over. No need to do that. He's already there. He may have a billiard here, buddy.
I believe all he's got here is a safety.
Let's take a look at the monitor. Rick's got a nice shot for us on the monitor. If he can draw that cue ball back a little bit and brush that 9, he may have a billiard here.
Oh, I really don't think he can hit it hard
He's taking
enough.
a look at it now.
I don't think he can hit it hard enough, Bill.
Oh, I think he can hit it hard enough. The man has a strong stroke. If I was out there, you could make that statement, okay? He'll never hit it hard enough.
He's going to shoot.
I think he has a billiard here.
He's going to shoot.
And Scott Smith has to take his position because this may be a very close hit. But if he's able to pocket the 9, you know that he hits the 4 first.
See, yeah, that was a tough shot because you had to hit the 4 very full.
Well, he didn't hit the 4 with enough speed.
Right.
You know, he
hit it hard enough to knock it all the way up the other end and back down here.
Well, that's exactly right, but it still wasn't hard enough.
Yeah.
Okay, Martinez at the table looking to take the lead in the match for the first time. No,
It doesn't take him long to shoot, does it?
No, he played the angle either to go 3 cushions or twice cross table. He's going 3 cushions. He's a 3-cushion billiard player, and he seems to like that shot.
I don't like that shot, though. Do you?
Well, considering the position of the 6, I think it was really, irrelevant. But if the 6 was away from the corner pocket a little further than that, I would have went twice across because he had more success pocketing the ball.
Yeah.
Game number 5 goes to Martinez, who, for the first time in the match, has the lead by the score of 3-2. Both players have been making balls with regularity on the break. We've played 5 games, and I think that every time the balls have been broken, there has been balls pocketed on the break. So therefore, it's very important, once you have control of the table, to keep control of the table, considering how easily they're able to pocket balls on the break. Like, once again, 2 balls fell on the break. He has
The
a shot
corner
on
ball
the 3.
and the 1.
Yeah, this could be a blowout because of that very reason.
Huh?
Whenever if the table's giving up balls on the break, once you have control of the table, you really have to be particularly careful that you don't give it up by some sort of a careless error. Now, that was very careless there. I think that
He didn't look comfortable shooting that shot.
No, he didn't. He misses by a considerable margin, and which is an indication that he was very careless with the shot. He had his mind on something else, because the pure shot maker that Martinez is, you wouldn't expect him to miss a ball by that margin. Archer must feel very fortunate.
He's going to be close to it.
Very
He's going to be down from it. He's going to be downhill on it. Look at this. He got a combination at the 6.
And wouldn't you know, it's the same 2 balls he had a combination on
And very
3 games
fortunate
ago,
there.
the 4-6,
Very fortunate there.
and then he's shooting it into the same pocket.
And very, very fortunate.
And he is very fortunate to end up with that shot. It was laying so perfectly, he couldn't resist it, and the answer was,
All I had to do is hit it and stick.
yeah. The answers in front of us now was just a straight-in combination, and this is the results. He was very fortunate to end up with that shot because he had an ideal shot leading up to the 4. He misplayed it, but was fortunate enough to get himself a nice shot on the 4-6 combination.
This is like I said before, and Johnny missed a 4 as soon as I said it, but he's cruising. This is a cruising out here.
Well, that's the first time I've ever heard that term, cruising out.
Yeah, once you make the tough one and everything else is laying out there nice and separated and everything, you call it cruising.
Oh, like a walk in the park,
Yeah.
cruising. And Archer cruising through that rack ties up the score at 3 games apiece.
The 9 ball skidded a little bit that time. And when he shot the 9 in, it skidded a little.
Game 6. 6 games. The score is Mr. Archer 3, Mr. Martinez 3.
And it sharked Johnny a little bit by skidding, too, because Johnny, as soon as he hit it, he looked up here at us like, did you see that?
But notice that he hit it pretty hard, knowing that in the event that if it did skid, it wouldn't skid as much by hitting it at the speed that he hit it with. And that's a little extra percentage that a lot of the top players do. Whenever they shoot certain shots on angles that there may be a skit, they hit it a little bit harder and use a little bit of helping English if they can.
That's what they liked about the old clay balls. They said they never saw one skid.
You know, to the best of my recollection, I don't remember ever seeing a clay ball skid either.
Mm-mm.
Corner ball again. What needs to be done to stop that? It's been going in every rack.
There's
no need to break the balls hard now. All you got to do is break the ball softly, playing position for the one.
I don't think there's anything you can do to stop it. Scott's racking them exactly the same every time, and every time it's going. So unless he changes his rack, the only thing he can change is if they start racking for each other.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And the balls have taken their places, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Well, the 5-ball position for the 6 may be a problem if he doesn't come up with a good angle on the 5. He would like to come all the way down table, get beneath the 5 if possible. Well, he's going to settle for a straight-in shot on the 5 and hopes just to draw it straight back between the 8 and the side pocket. Because going forward, he may have to deal with the 9 here, and possibly, the stroke that he needs to go forward is a pretty tough stroke to get the ball 2 cushions up table. I think he's going to draw it straight back and take his chances that he doesn't scratch. Because when you play as well as he plays, you know that you're not going to scratch.
Right.
I mean, you got a good feel of the cue ball. You're close to the object ball, so therefore you should have a good feel on that particular shot, which he did.
Yeah.
You know, if you're a guffer like me, you just stop the ball and just take the long shot, you know?
Yeah, right. Nice talking to you. Johnny's playing really well. But Rafael's playing great, too.
This is game number 7 with the pocketing of the 9. Archer will now take a 4-3 advantage in the match. Rafael is playing very well, but I'll tell you what.
Mr. Archer 4, Mr. Martinez
Up until this point in the match, Rafael has missed more balls. He's missed
Then I've
2,
seen him
he's
miss
missed
the
a
whole
4,
tournament.
and he has missed a 3.
I haven't seen him miss that match the whole tournament.
In the first 7 games than he's had in his last 2 matches.
Yeah. That's been 2 balls. He
That's
played
right.
a match against Nick Berner where in a race to 13 he never missed 1 ball. He made 2 position errors, but he never missed 1 ball that he shot it. And Rafael doesn't have to have a hanger to shoot, you know what I mean?
That's right. He will take a high-risk shot.
Yeah.
Corner ball once again. Wing ball on the right side of the rack. 4 ball. 5 ball taking his position in front of the side pocket. The 1 ball adjacent to the 5. The 2 ball near the left-hand side pocket.
Here, do you worry about the 1 going in?
I think you worry about controlling the 1. You know, softly rolling it. You control the 1 very nicely. Now, position for the 2 will be the key to this particular rack right now. Position on the 2.
Oh, the side pocket's big as a
It's
watermelon.
very big, very big.
There's a big, big pocket. I'm talking about the other side.
Yes, the other side, naturally. Here he goes. He's going to miss the side, executing this shot to near perfection. Cue ball finally coming to rest in just about a perfect position on the table. It looks like he's handling the cue ball quite well. So therefore, if the first 7 games has anything to say about the rest of the match, Archer seems to be the player that's most comfortable, or more comfortable.
It seems pretty comfortable.
Well, the young man from Raleigh, North Carolina is all business out there after game number 8. It's Archer 5, Martinez 3. Yeah, I guess he just believes that he belongs in the finals. You know, yourself, you believed that at one time yourself, didn't you? Every time
What do you
got
mean
to the
at
final?
one time? I still believe that. What's the
Now, hold
matter?
it a second. Now, hold it a second. I watched you play this tournament. You played brilliantly this tournament. You really did. I was really, really impressed by the way you were playing this tournament and really proud of you, okay? I was really proud of you. But quite frankly, buddy, this is a 9-ball is a game for younger players.
Is that why you quit?
Touche. Now, this is why I believe 9-ball is a game for younger players. Watch this guy break the balls. He's going to put his whole body into it. Watch the extension off of the break. Watch. Look at it. He just flies at the balls. And the break is the single most important shot in the game. And if you can't break the balls and pocket balls on the break with regularity, pal, you got problems. And most young players just seem to be able to open the balls better.
They hammer it.
Wiley, Bustamante, Archer, Strickland, all these guys are young. Allen, Breedlove. You know? we got to change these rules, buddy.
Yeah, play loser breaks or something. I quit lobbying for loser breaks.
Yeah. You might as well just digest what we have and continue. Long shot. Phew.
He's hitting everything clean.
Young guys, buddy. Young guys. Oh, well, what would I give to be 25 again for a tournament? Or 30? You know?
No.
Oh,
Wow.
my, he allowed the cue balls to get away from him.
Wow,
But,
he almost scratched.
he almost scratched, and I guess he put too much... He put
knows
too
it,
much
too.
emphasis on the position of the 6 as a possible interfering ball. Had he, applied more
He
left-hand
knows he was
English to the
lucky
cue
then.
ball. Oh, yeah.
He knows he was lucky then.
Yeah. He respected the position of the 6 ball too much, and he made sure he stayed away from the 6, and he almost crashed. But nevertheless, he was able to pocket the ball and not scratch, and he has a 5-9 combination. That's not a gimme, but he should be able to handle it.
Boy,
After
he looks
pocketing-
kind of befuddled.
Well, I would be befuddled myself after pocketing the 2 as cleanly as he did, considering the distance he was away from the 2. You would think that the next shot
Martinez.
would be quite simple.
Look how slow he's starting to move.
Yeah, but he allowed his concentration. He was distracted somewhat, because if he would have been concentrating on that shot, you knew he would have been in perfect line for the 5-9 combination, nowhere near the corner pocket. So that's probably why he was a little baffled with it or whatever. Anyways, game number 9 goes to Archer, who now takes a 3-game lead in the match, 6 games to 3. It's a race to 15. Now we're panning. Well, there's Hubba Hubba.
Hubba, hubba,
Hubba
hubba.
Hubba.
Hubba, hubba.
And there's Mr. Lubin, Howard Lubin. I really like his attire. You like Mr. Lubin's attire?
Uh-huh.
Huh?
I like the way he's wearing his sunglasses. It's showing the
Right.
roof, or the ceiling there.
He wears the most colorful suspenders. You ever notice that? He does. He wears great suspenders. You should wear. You were wearing suspenders there for a while, weren't you?
I wore them a couple times.
You
Bill.
wore more than a couple times, buddy. You wore them a couple times. You wore them for like almost a year.
Oh, I did not, Bill.
Okay.
Corner ball.
Again, the corner ball. The corner ball.
What's
Again,
the
the
3?
corner
What's
ball.
the 2 doing? What's the 2 doing?
Johnny's trying to push the 5 away from the side pocket to open up that lane into the side pocket for the 1.
The 9 ball may be on here too.
Okay, he has a shot both for the 1 and possibly the 9 in billiard. So therefore, it looks like the balls are cooperating for Archer in that regard. Martinez once again in the chair. Let's take another shot at Martinez while we have an opportunity. What? Same expression. The same expression on his face that was on his face before the match began, during the match, and when the match is over. He will always look like he does now. Back to the table. Watch the cue ball. Watch the cue ball. He missed the one, and now he's left Martinez a very, very long, difficult shot on the one. Trailing 3 games to 6. Erring. The last time you were at the table, what do you do?
I have noticed a change in Johnny ever since he shot that long two ball in the corner. He has slowed down dramatically on his shots. Boy, that's
Goodness.
coming with a shot right there now.
That is really hard there. You know, after you make a mistake like he did, missing the 3 ball the last time he was at the table, returning to the table with a shot that carried the degree of difficulty that shot carried, hitting it as pure as he hit it.
Yeah.
Whew. I mean, that's really hitting the ball well.
Yeah. That's come into play, isn't it? This friend of mine, Pittsburgh John, I don't know if he's got a... You know Pittsburgh John.
Sure, he's up there in the corner up there. The cameras can't reach him, I don't think.
John said back in the old days, he said, guys around Detroit and stuff that played hard like these guys that tried real hard to win, he said he didn't like to play those guys.
And after this rack is over, possibly we can persuade Rick Bowling to take a shot at John. But in the meantime, we'll take care of business at hand, finish this rack out with Rafael, and then we'll take a look at John. Yeah, Rafael was all business out there. Believe me, he has really come to play. He did miss a couple balls this match, but I think he's just going to brush that off and just take care of business.
There's Pitts John up there.
That's an excellent speed of the cue ball. He's gotten himself a fairly nice angle on the 5. A little straighter than he would have liked, but of course it's very workable. He'll just pound it in, going cross table for position for the 6. You have to hit this shot cleanly because this particular angle, the pocket will spit it out, and it almost did.
Well, he
It almost
didn't hit
did.
it real clean.
Well, that you have to hit that shot clean, or else the pocket will not accept it, and it almost spit it out. Rather far from the 9 for me. But not for him.
I'll say one thing, that was pretty fine out right there.
It certainly was. After game number 10, Martinez now trails by only 2 games in the match, 4 games to 6. Let's take a look at John. He's up there to the left there, Rick.
Martinez wins game
Now, he's the
10.
fellow with the brown shirt with the orangish color in it. The
And
orange
the gray hair.
He's got gray hair, and he's way up to the left, Rick. Can you,
No, way around.
no, he's
to
on the other set of bleachers to the left of us.
Sitting beside me.
Way up there to the left. No, he's not in the bleachers ahead of us. He's on the other set of bleachers. We'll get him some other time, Rick. Oh, the corner ball didn't go in, buddy. The corner ball didn't go in for Martinez. And the 1 ball came to rest beside the cue ball. I don't know what type of a shot, if any, he has.
I think he's straight in on it.
If he's straight in on it, he should be able to run the balls this rack. The only problem area is the 7-9, and the 5 ball sitting next to the 7-9, so he should be able to take care of that problem. After pocketing the 5, he should just go into the 9. The 6 ball sits in front of the upper right-hand corner. This doesn't seem like... oh, he mishit that. He definitely mishit
I'm
that.
not sure that's even a good shot.
Oh, he has a shot in the side.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know if that was illegal. I guess it was.
Yeah, well, Scott Smith was right on top of the shot. He had a bird's eye view of the shot. He liked it, so Johnny continues. And now he's got the assistance of the 8 ball, possibly, if he decides to use it. And if I were he, I would decide to use it. I would play the left side of the side. Not the right side of the side. I would play the left side of the side using the 8 ball.
I'm telling you, he has slowed down a lot here his last 2 or 3 shots. Look how slow he's moving.
And you're very observant because you did pick that up, and I noticed when you picked it up, as soon as when he almost scratched on the, what ball was it? Was it the 2 ball? The 3 ball, I think it was. He almost scratched. His demeanor changed at the table.
Yeah.
You noticed it right away. And obviously you're right. Excellent control of the cue ball positioning
He's
in the
gonna
back
leave
of the
him a shot.
5 and the 7. Oh, he may have found the gap, possibly.
No, I don't think so. I think he stopped in time.
He's going to masse this with a soft speed. Oh, he's going to jump over it.
Too close to jump.
I
I'm surprised he just got up there and hit that.
Yeah, I thought perhaps he may masse it slightly, hitting the 2 ball through the end cushion and then to the side and giving him a bank on the 2 and trying to negotiate that particular shot in that fashion. But obviously I was wrong. He tried to jump over it, not able to clear the 9, giving Martinez ball in hand. The problem in this particular rack is the 8 ball, but of course the position of the 7 will make
He's
that.
out of line there a little bit.
No, he's all right. He'll just cut it in a little bit and stay on top of the 6.
I play 3 rails. I played a bump the 3rd rail on this.
He's going to reverse it. Now the position of the 7 will make position on the 8 play much easier. Had the 7 been in another position on the table, then the 8 ball would have been much more of a problem. But he'll stay on the right hand side of the 7 slightly. That's good. That's good. And now that's the perfect angle for him to drop nicely beneath the 8, playing position for the 8 in the upper left hand corner.
Well done.
Very nicely done. Very nicely done. This is game number 11 with the pocketing of the 8 and the 9. Martinez will trail only by 1 game in the match, 5 games to 6. And he does. 5 games to 6. A little bit of a story about Rafael Martinez. Mike LeBron and I took a trip to Texas. This has gone back some time ago. Must have been about 8 years ago. And we went around. What's the name of the little town on the border there?
McAllen?
McAllen, Texas. That's right. That's great.
Yeah, Rafael said at that time he wasn't born in Texas, but he got there as fast as he could.
We went through McAllen. There's pitch, John, and there he goes. Okay, thanks a lot, Rick. Rafael pocketing a ball on the break. There's pitch, John, up there. Okay.
That's Pittsburgh,
He's a
John.
real
Look at
trooper.
that. See that legendary face right there? That is the face of a famous man.
A lot of mouths on that face right there. A lot of character, too, by the way.
Pittsburgh John.
I'll tell you about the story about the man from Colima, Mexico, right after this rack.
Okay.
Okay, the position of the 5 and the 6 means that he'll have to play a good position on the 5 in order to stay next to the 6 for position. Oh, no, that's carelessness. That's carelessness.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Instead of playing the ball, he played position.
Now watch Johnny's demeanor. Watch him. He looks to me like he's like really laid back. I mean, he really doesn't seem to have the drive that he had when he started this match.
Let's take a look at Rafael once again. Now, here's a man who just missed the ball, but his expression, once again, still the same on his face. Still the same. Same man. Imperturbable. Can't bother him. And that's why he has the will to come back. He can come back. Archer's gotten himself in perfect line for the 5.
Waste. He's trying to pick it up a little.
Game number 12 goes to Archer. Now leads by the score of 7 games to 5. LeBron and I went to McAllen, Texas. I was called up, and a fellow that called me up said, "There's action down here in McAllen, Texas." He says, "There's some people down here. They got a lot of money." He said, "And they want to gamble." Okay, so I got a hold of Mike LeBron, and we went down there because Mike speaks, Mike speaks Spanish, and I figured that he would be the ideal player to bring down there. I brought him down there, and who do you think we had to play? Rafael Martinez. Well, at that time, Rafael couldn't speak a bit of English. By the way, he's really picked up on his English considerably since then. I mean, he studies it, and he's doing really well with it. And he couldn't speak a bit of English. And Rafael and John played. They played for like 2 days. At the beginning, John was beating on him.
John or
Oh, excuse me, Rafael was beating on him. Excuse me.
Mike.
Mike was beating on him. Right. Well, he wasn't able to put down the corner ball, the wing ball, the 2 ball, but he did pocket the 1 on the side. But Rafael, even at that time, was unrelenting. He didn't give up. He just kept fighting and fighting and fighting. And at the end of the second day, he was almost even with Mike. So we just packed it in.
You guys went to the house, huh?
Yeah.
See, it's the tempo has changed here. Come on, Billy, give us one of your words of wisdom here. How's he going to play to the 3?
Oh, he can contact it too. Well, then there's no question he'll go 2 cushions between the 8 and the 4. He'll apply a lot of right-hand English, spinning 2 cushions.
Okay.
Wow, he went straight up. Well, how would you play that?
He went rail first. He went rail first, and he has no pocket there.
How would you play this shot?
I believe I would have hit the ball. If I was going to go up that way, I wouldn't have went rail
I didn't
first.
ask you if you were going to go up that way. I asked you how you would have played that
I
shot.
may have played 2 rails like you were talking about.
Really, it's tough to get you to agree with me.
I would have probably played that way. He looks like he's going to have to bank this ball, or is he going to play combinations? Is he going to cut this back to try to play a combination here?
I doubt it. The bank seems to be laying just about as good as you can expect the bank to be laying here. He's looking at it. He's looking at it very meanly, too, by, that expression on his face. He wants to, like, eat the bank or something. He's going to bank this ball and most likely stop the cue ball somewhere in the area where it is now. Very nicely done. He's very determined now. That's the expression on his face. He has that very determined look right now. Now, once again, the cue ball got away from him there. I mean, this is really not the ideal angle.
No.
Matter of fact, this is a problem.
Yeah.
This is a problem.
He doesn't mind distance, though.
Yeah, but he doesn't have the angle. Distance I can understand, but he doesn't have the angle that suggests that he'll have an easy route to get to the 6.
He would just go straight up, won't he?
I don't think he has
Straight to
that
the end
angle.
rail?
He's going to have to go 2 cushions off the long rail using a center ball.
No, he can hit the end rail, I believe.
I don't think so.
Well, he's not going to play the end
He's
rail.
going to go 2 cushions using a
He's coming
center
down
ball.
this side, didn't he?
Say 2 cushions using a center ball.
Coming down this
way.
side.
He was able to negotiate that problem, but still, he created it. He didn't really have. He's not playing the caliber that he's been playing all week long.
He's playing a fine pool game, though, even at that.
Oh, he's playing, wonderfully. But if he would have been playing the same speed that he's been playing, then he would have had to lead in this match by 2-3 games. He's missed 3 balls in this match, and fortunately, if he is able to put down the 8 and the 9, he'll only be trailing by 1 game. But there's a lot of pressure out there, and he's dealing with it quite well.
Doesn't take him long to shoot, does it?
Game number 13 goes to Martinez, who trails now only by 1 game in the match, 6 games to 7. We're about the halfway mark here, buddy. 7 games to 6. This is a race to 15. And considering that they played almost half the match, what do you expect is going to happen here? I mean, who do you like? And both these players.
I think it's still an even match. You got to give Johnny a slight edge because he's 2 games ahead. But as far as match goes, I think this is a very even match. 1 game ahead. It's 7-6. I still think it's an even match.
Corner ball that time.
Inside ball and shot at the 2. It's definitely an even match.
Well, I'll tell you the truth. It was better than an even match before he broke the balls, considering the corner ball has been going in as regular as it has.
In, yeah.
You know, so therefore, even though he was at a 1-game deficit, he probably was ahead.
Okay, what's he going to do? 2 to the 3. How do you get to the 4?
Well,
Where do you play to get to the 4?
Now this is the 9's a big ball here. If he chooses to go 2 cushions around in between the 9 and the 8. He's using right-hand English. He's going to go reverse it. No, he's going 1 cushion, 2 cushions up table for position for the 4 in the side.
Which is a very nice shot.
And he hit it with excellent speed, too. That shot required excellent speed. Of the cue ball, he hit it with excellent speed, and he got himself a very nice shot. The remainder of the rack should play rather routine.
I don't know if he can reach it.
No, he's got the assistance of the stretch bridge.
The stretch.
The stretch bridge. That's a great bridge, by the way.
Yes, it is.
If he's able to clear the table, this match will once again be tied up at 7 games apiece.
It's knotted up here, I believe, folks. Rafael says, well, if I can miss 2 or 3 balls, and it's tied up right now, what's going to happen if I quit missing?
Exactly, and that's my thought.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's my thought too.
Yeah?
Like I said, you know, he has missed 3 balls in this match up to this point, but yet he only trails by 1 game.
Yeah.
So therefore, you know, he has to consider himself quite fortunate. As a matter of fact, he has to be the player with the most confidence right now. And there's definitely been a momentum switch here, a momentum swing in his favor.
Yes, it has. It's the battle. Rafael's not even checking the rack.
4 ball, that's the ball on the wing, right hand side of the table, into the corner pocket.
Where's the 1 going?
1 ball kissing itself off the 3,
Where's the
up
1
table.
going?
Cue ball finally coming to rest near the side. Does he have enough room to cut the 1 to the corner pocket?
I don't think so, but I think he has enough room to maybe bank it.
The angle looks a little bit off in regard to a bank, but of course he deals quite nicely with off-angled banks.
He's looking at cutting, actually banking the 1 into the side rail off the side of the 7. He's looking at that shot.
That, in my opinion, that's a haphazard shot.
No, he's looking at the cue ball behind the 7. That's what he's looking at.
Yeah, that's much better. Much better. Excellent control of the cue ball. Nice soft touch. Positioning the cue ball behind the 7.
This is a tough hit here. You have to you have to speed the cue ball up to sharpen the angle, but yet you don't want it to jump.
And that's exactly what he did. He sped the cue ball up to sharpen the angle. He was able to contact the 1. And he got out of it with suffering very, very little consequence in regard to an offensive shot. He really hasn't left him an offensive shot unless he chooses
over here in the corner.
unless he chooses to cut the 1 in the lower right-hand corner.
Oh, he'll definitely do that.
Well, he doesn't necessarily have to do that because it looks like that he may have a safety here.
Well,
Right.
if he doesn't have a shot to play position and he has a good safety, then he'll take the safety. But if he has a shot, an offensive shot, where he can put that ball in the side here and go 2 rails up, maybe playing the 2 ball in the upper corner or the left-hand side pocket, I think that's what he'll do.
If he chooses to play the 1 in the lower right-hand corner pocket, he's going to have to apply right-hand English on the cue ball, hitting 2 cushions and going in between the 8 and the 3 toward the 2 for position.
Right.
Now, if he chooses to play safe, he'll then bank the 1 beneath him now and position the cue ball somewhere behind the 8. Let's see what he does. Oh, he missed that. He mishit that. He really didn't hit that with the speed that I feel he feels most comfortable hitting balls with. Which is a much harder speed. He sort of like rolled that shot.
Yeah, I think we're taking a break now. We'll be right back.
Okay, we're back in action now with the score tied up at 7 games apiece. Archer at the table. And during the break, he went to Jimmy Wedge and he said, "Wedge, man, I'm struggling out here. I can't make a tough shot." What do you think, buddy? There he is right there. I would like my top speed to be his struggling speed. You know what I mean? Huh? Yeah.
Have you got a good shot here? Johnny just told us if he catches the 9 going in, he's got trouble. He's got to catch it coming out. If he catches it going in, it'll be a bad hit, won't it?
Well, if he catches, well, what he means, if he hits the bottom of the 9, when he draws off the 1, then he'll probably stay in that area somewhat.
Yeah, he'll stay behind it. Yeah.
Yeah, but he wants the draw to take effect immediately and hit the right side of the 9, and then it'll go up toward the 2.
Yeah.
But if the draw doesn't take effect immediately, he'll hit the bottom part of the 9, and then he may go to the left and find himself possibly behind the 3.
See, I like following this ball. I like following this shot with just a touch of inside English.
That's an option he may have not considered. But now that you brought it forth, I think that following this particular shot may be the right way to shoot it.
Eli will stay right down here behind the 3 and the 9. Oh, he done good.
Well, he was able to. He was able to get away from the 9 and the 3, setting the cue ball up toward the 2. Now, the angle that he has on the 2 is workable, but it's not ideal by any means. Therefore, he does have to put a pretty good stroke on the shot. It looks like he's going to have to draw to the side, cushion, and back out.
Yeah, he's wanting to draw it.
Now, once again, he notices there's a hair on the ball. How many times do you think I've shot with a hair on the ball? Because I can't see the cue ball.
I can't even see if there's a hair on the ball.
No. No, he is struggling, you know. He cannot make a tough shot. No, I mean, he can make a tough shot, but they're not going in as easily as he wants them to. That time, it didn't even go in. Martinez jumps out of his chair with an opportunity to take the lead in the match.
You play the side rail or in rail here, Bill?
I would play the side rail, or I wouldn't draw straight back. I would play the side rail, making sure that I would come in toward the 3, staying away from the 5.
You pinch draw this? You just kind of stick it?
I would stick it because of the forgiving pockets. There's no reason to play position for the side. Just cinch the 3, and you have a nice shot on the 5. This is a very, very easy shot considering
you stick it
the
or go
looseness
on?
of the. I would just stick it there. You got natural angle for the 8. This is a routine out. What are you asking me all these questions for?
I'm just trying to find out where you're from, Bill.
Are you trying to make me feel good here? I'd make the 8 in the lower left-hand corner if you're going to ask me that question.
Would you play the 9 in the same pocket?
Same corner. How'd I do, okay?
You done excellent.
Thank
Billy.
you. And so did he. After game number 15, Martinez has the lead in the match once again by the score now of 8-7. You could ask me a tough question.
Ever since that shot on the 3 ball, Johnny seemed like he's been just a little slack at the table. When he almost followed up, when he almost scratched up in the corner. Remember?
You're right. He has dropped definitely at least the speed.
Uh-huh.
At least the speed, and he doesn't have much time to recover. You know? Martinez has 8 games. This is a race to 15, you know. And if he doesn't recover in the next 5 minutes, 3 to 5 minutes, he's going to lose this match and the tournament. Watch the cue ball. 4 ball going in, pocketing 2 balls on the break. He has a choice now, or actually he has an option to either play it in the side or back it cross side or play it safe. I don't think either offensive shot is what, you know, I wouldn't want to shoot any of the offensive
He's just
shots.
going to roll it in, bump the side rail, and come out.
I don't like even shooting here.
Oh, I thought he could miss the 8.
You know, that's what I'm saying. I didn't even like shooting there. But of course, I am a coward.
Yeah, here you play for the billiard or you draw it. Do you draw it into it or you play for the billiard?
No, if the 5 has room to pass the 9, I play for the ball.
It doesn't pass. He's playing for the billiard.
Oh, it doesn't pass?
I don't think so.
Okay, well, I look for him to hit this shot really, really good because he's good.
He's a billiard player.
Billiards.
Huh?
Yes, he's able to execute.
No, he's not shooting it. He's not shooting it.
What's he doing? You said it wouldn't pass.
I didn't think it would pass, Billy. I didn't think it would pass. I thought he was playing for the billiard.
Okay. Well,
I was wrong.
he knew it would pass, and that's what counts. He knew it would pass.
I made a mistake once before, a couple matches ago.
And Johnny's hoping, yeah, that's right, a couple matches ago. Rafael knew it would pass, and Johnny's hoping that this lull in his game will pass. But of course, he has to have a shot at the, has to have an opportunity at the table for that question to be answered.
Yeah.
And if it's up to Martinez, he will not make another appearance at the table. And considering the way the table's been breaking in regard to the corner ball going into regular, I wouldn't be surprised to see Martinez run out the match.
Yeah.
It's very possible. And after game number 16, Martinez now has a 2-game lead in the match, 9-7. I mean, what about Bustamante? Ray has missed the ball. He was leading 13-9. He never made another appearance at the table.
Ray has missed a 5-ball, cost him
the match.
Yeah, but he missed the 5-ball once. It cost him 5 games. He missed a 4-ball once. It cost him the match.
That's right. And if Martinez is able to start playing the speed that he played throughout the tournament from this position, and he starts pocketing balls on the break, which he has, it's no big surprise to me if he runs out the match.
Yeah, it was a 9-game swing on 2 misses. That's what you can get dealt here playing with these guys.
And there's the corner ball. Unfortunately, the one ball hit the point of the side pocket with down the center of the table, but yet he still does have a shot on the one, and it's really not that it's really not that tough of a shot, actually. The position of the 2 ball near the upper right-hand corner.
I play 3-rail position here. 3-rail or up and down.
3-rail position. I like 3-rail position if you're able to control the cue ball, hitting it to the left, the upper left-hand corner pocket into the short rail. Now, he's played 2-rail position. This is a little haphazard, though. He's going into the 2. No, he missed the 2. He bypassed the 2, and he's left himself with a shot on the 2 ball for the lower right-hand corner.
He's shooting over a ball. This is. I don't know. This is a touchy shot right here.
And we hit it well enough to make it. I liked his way of playing position on that shot, on the 1 ball, because it was just more natural than the 2-rail position, because the corner pocket on the 2-rail position was real big.
Yeah,
on the 3-rail position was real big, yeah. And so therefore you had to do something that was unnatural. But the way he shot the 1 ball, he actually increased his chances of pocketing the ball, and he took a very accessible route to the 2 that way. So therefore I kind of like what he did.
Oh, he's close to this one. He's close to this one,
and
folks.
The cue ball tried to bend forward behind the 9, but it didn't.
Now, do you play position over by the 7?
No, I play position for the combination, because the 6 is going to take the place of the 7 after contact because of the position of the 7. So therefore, there's no problem here. This is rather routine, and it has been for the last 3 or 4 shots. All he needs to do is keep the strong concentration that got him to this point. 9-7, he has the lead, looking to extend it.
He looks very, very solid, and he's getting stronger by the minute, he looks like. I asked him once, I said, how do you feel? He said, I feel strong like the bull.
He really did say that? He's a very, very modest fellow, I'm surprised he would say that.
17 games, scores Martinez 10, Archer 7.
Well, Martinez is right on schedule, shooting a 9.53.
Yeah, but it's hard for me to believe that he's shooting a 9.53, considering that he's missed 4 balls in this match. I think that no, he's missed 4 balls in this match. I think that your stats are kind of suspect here with 9.53. Yeah, well, he missed 4. He missed the 1 ball. That was the last ball that he missed. And he's pocketed 2 balls on the break, and the balls have taken their place once again. They have taken their places once again. The 3 adjacent to the 5, the 4 nearest the foot spot to the left slightly. 6 at the other end of the table. The 5 plays conveniently in front of the 6, so therefore you can drop nicely onto the 6 after pocketing the 5. I'd say they're cooperating.
Yes, I would too.
Yeah, that was a very, very costly shot Johnny missed when he missed the 2-ball.
Yes,
It
it was.
has proven to be very, very costly. And if Martinez is able to run the 3 remaining balls, he'll find himself with 11 beads or balls or whatever you call it on his side of the string, needing only 4. Watch out. Whoa.
Whoa.
He went directly into the side
He sure
pocket.
did.
I mean, directly into it. If he would have been off the cushion another inch, he would have went into the side pocket. But the angle that he came into the side precluded him from scratching because of the angle. It wasn't an angle you would think he could scratch on, but he almost scratched.
Yeah, he's going to take his time here for a second.
Yeah. Archer shooting a 903. That was his total performance average. Martinez a 953. Well, now he's stretching the lead out to 4 games by the score of 11 games to 7. So therefore, Archer actually has paid for his mistakes much more severely than Martinez has.
Yeah.
Okay, now he's back at the table. He's run now 3 consecutive racks. 3.5 racks, I would think.
Yeah, 33 balls.
33 balls. Very good. That's very good. Oh my goodness, that's impressive. Corner ball once again. Watch the cue ball. Watch the cue ball.
Oh.
Okay, now I think that Johnny's breathing a lot easier now. Let's take a look at Johnny real quick, Rick. He's breathing a lot easier now, knowing that he'll have probably at least one more appearance back at the table, because I do believe Martinez is going to play a safe behind the 9 with the cue ball, setting the 1 ball back up underneath him now, where he is now. Oh, he really mishit that particular shot, buddy. He mishit
He
it
sure did.
badly. Now,
Boy,
that's definitely an error.
Really bad. Yeah.
Yes, it is. That's just as bad as the ball Johnny missed, the 2 ball.
Yeah. Do you hit the back of the 9 here?
Does he have to hit the back of the 9?
Well, he may have to.
Well, why can't he just spin it right around the 9, play position for the 3 in the upper left-hand corner?
I don't know, Bill.
Well, he almost did it, but he did hit the back of the 9.
Yes, he did. He didn't want to hit the back of the 9, though. He was
No.
trying to miss it.
Yeah. Now he has to draw the ball, staying away from the 4. But yet, I would draw this with no English. With right-hand English, he sends the cue ball toward the side cushion. He's following this ball,
He's
but
following it.
is he playing it in the side or he's playing it in the corner? Wow. Now he's gotten himself out of line here a little bit. I thought that he should have played it in the side. From our vantage point, I thought the side pocket was the pocket
Was
of
the
choice.
pocket? Yeah.
What did you think?
No, I thought he would play it in the corner. I didn't think he would hit it that hard. He did. I believe he hit it a little harder than really what he intended hitting it.
Yes, he did. But, he has really strong recovery power.
Yeah.
And it was proven once again. He got himself a little bit out of line on the 4, was able to pocket the testy shot on the 4 and get himself back in line for the 5. Now he's drawn the cue ball down table a little bit too far once again. He's out of line.
I don't think, is that not where he played it?
I don't think so. He's the back cut it. Well, maybe so. Maybe so. Some angles are quite
Or deceiving from here, yeah.
So I apologize to Johnny for saying that he got out of line there.
Yeah, Bill, watch yourself. He's playing good too.
He certainly is. He's shooting a 903 prior to the inning here. And now he comes to within 3 games of the lead, trailing by the score of 8 games to 11.
You notice how the Accu-Stats of these players have went up and went up and went up. How it takes like a 940 now to win a match.
11, Mr. Archer 8.
Well, I think it has a lot to do with the type of equipment that you play on, the conditions, the type of equipment. Had this been a much tougher table in regards to the pocket size, I don't think that you would be seeing these 950s as regularly as they've been shooting them. I think the UC scores more like 911, 900, 895, 920 would be a real nice score to shoot, or an average to shoot. But the table's been giving up balls on the break, which means that the runouts become more simple because there's less balls on the table. And then
with the corner ball.
Corner ball, right. And the bad execution of the safety that Martinez shot seems to be costing him a few games now.
Yeah, because he had a really nice safety there.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. He had a real nice shot to lock up Archer. Instead, he wasn't able to miss the kiss on the cue ball. And the one. And
now Archer's got a stretch here. Left-handed.
And it's very important for your young players out there to learn to play with your opposite hand. Be ambidextrous like Mr. Johnny Archer and the man to my right, Buddy Hall. I noticed that you have an excellent stroke with your opposite hand. Oh, he allowed the cue ball to get away from him. I know he did.
Boy.
He played center table, and that cue ball got away from him a good 2 feet. And he feels quite fortunate, but let's forget about that. Lost a little dignity with the shot, but it's a fair trade-off. He's still in line.
Lost a little dignity with the shot.
I go to the side cushion and then toward the 9, hitting the rail before the side.
Absolutely. 2 rails right here. Boom. Boom.
Archer trying to bring suspense back into the match, trails now by only 2 games with the pocketing of the 9. 9 games to 11. Okay, now we're seeing the match we expected to see. It's starting to get a little bit closer now, and Martinez starts to draw away. But the way the pattern of the match has been sort of like this.
I'll lead for a while, then you can lead for a while,
yeah.
and I'll lead for a while. We'll see who gets the finish line first.
5 ball, jump straight up here.
Well, last match was a really great match. I've seen nothing but good matches here at this tournament this year.
I expect to see the corner ball, the wing ball, to the right of the rack go into the corner pocket, the 2 ball, which it almost did. That's one of the very few times.
Boy, he broke those balls weak.
That's one of the very few times that the corner ball did not go.
Did you see how weak he hit him?
Well, I didn't pay much attention to the velocity of that particular break. I was paying more attention to the wing ball, which didn't go. Now, perhaps the velocity had a little bit to do with why the wing ball didn't go.
It looked like he didn't hit him very hard that time.
Okay, Martinez has a rather baffled look about himself right now, trying to figure out how he's going to play position for the 2, which the 2 is relying rather awkwardly on the table. Notice the 4 and the 9 preclude him from playing position for the 2 in the lower right-hand corner, so therefore he's going to have to play position for the 2 in the lower left-hand corner, and to do that may be a little bit more difficult than one could deal with, and he allowed the cue ball to get away from him slightly.
Johnny like holding his breath when Rafael shot that one. He says, "Ooh, is it going in the corner or what?" I believe he's got a nice safety shot here.
Okay, now from the angle that we have, I really can't tell whether or not he can control the 2 ball, shooting it through the gap between the 4 and the 9, and still be able to control the cue ball behind the 4-9. He would like to shoot the 2 ball in between the 4 and the 9, positioning the cue ball behind the 4. I don't know if he has the angle to do that.
I wonder if he has a shot at the 9. Nipping the 4 with a 2 and playing the 9. You can't hardly tell how it lays from here, but sometimes that shot's on.
A shot that he may have is playing the 2 off of the 9 into the lower left-hand corner.
You don't think he would play this off the 4 into the 9 then? For the billiard, the 2 off the 4?
I think that he might have a shot, the 2 directly into the 9. Shooting the 2 into the 9, carrying off of the 9, the 2 ball that is, into the lower left-hand corner pocket, cue ball up table for position on the 3. If he misses the 2 off the 9, it figures to rest on the bottom cushion. The cue ball figures to go up table, possibly be even behind the 7 maybe.
Well, let me ask you this. What's wrong with shooting the 2 into the 4 and taking the cue ball over past the 9?
Nothing at all. You didn't ask me the options. Well, he played the billiard on the 8. That was my next shot.
That was your next shot,
Yeah.
huh? Well, this is going to be a good shot, too. That was a good shot, and this will be a good one, too. I believe he's hooked himself.
Well, he can see half of the ball, or approximately half of the ball. But that little bit, maybe, that he might not be able to see, may be the part of the ball that he needs to hit.
Yeah.
So therefore, if he's hooked himself too much with this shot, he's trapped.
He could jump it. He could possibly jump it.
So this particular shot will be decided on maybe a quarter of an inch or so. If he can see enough of the 2 ball to cross it and drop the cue ball beneath the 4, that would be ideal. But if he cannot see enough of the 2 ball to do that, it looks like he's trapped himself.
Is he banking it straight back?
I don't know. It looks like he's trapped himself to me. See, he trapped himself. He couldn't see enough of the 2 ball to drop beneath the 4, so he had to hit more to the left of the 2.
I believe he's gotten lucky.
Well, you know, he's entitled. I've got lucky a couple times myself.
I've never seen you get lucky, Bill.
Never?
You always play this kill
I
game.
got lucky when I met you because you're a good friend of mine.
Well, decisions.
Well, what are the decisions? Now that you said that there's a decision, what is it?
Well, I'd like to have an overhead view of it again.
All right, we have the overhead view. Thank you, Rick.
Maybe 3-rail it around. Just jack up a little bit, 3-rail the 2 around, try to stick him on the end rail.
Okay, looks like that's what he's attempting to do. And that's exactly what, now that's going to come off long. It's going to hit the bottom cushion. It's going to come off the bottom cushion.
He made a
about
pretty fair
3
shot.
inches. He made a pretty fair shot, but I wouldn't be a bit surprised to see Rafael thinly cut the 2 ball into the corner pocket, because the way he's been pocketing balls, this shot shouldn't present much of a problem for him. Very nicely
This
done.
4 could be a problem if the cue ball keeps rolling.
And it's going to keep rolling. But fortunately for Rafael, it didn't roll to the right. It rolled straight, and he does have a shot on the 3. Watch out. Now the cue ball is going to keep rolling, brushing the 4. And this is a very interesting shot right here.
You play it 2 rails around?
I don't know about the 2 rails around. Believe me, I almost think you have to play for position for the 4 in the upper left-hand corner. Rather touchy shot. I really wouldn't want to do it, but I don't think he may. It looks like he's putting reverse English on the cue ball, playing position for the lower left-hand corner. Oh my! And he overcut the 4 ball because he played position on the 5. Instead of pocketing the ball, he played position for the 5, and he very carelessly took his eye off the 4. You see, his concentration was more on position for the 5 instead of pocketing the 4, something that I have been guilty of many times in the past.
Yeah.
And I would imagine there a lot of other people have been guilty of the same thing. Sometimes you have a shot where you put too much emphasis on position and not enough importance on pocketing the ball, and what happens? The inevitable, you miss the ball.
Yeah. It ended up a pretty tough shot here. The cue ball looked like it rocked back downhill a little bit. You made it.
So that's why I said that I possibly may have played position for the 5 up the upper left-hand corner, even though it was a touchy shot. You know you're going to pocket the ball 100% of the time. And you're going to have a much more difficult shot actually on the 5, but of course it's a fair trade-off. It's more than a fair trade-off right now for Martinez. if he would have played position for the 5 in the upper left-hand corner. Archer given new life at the table due to a miscue on Martinez. We played 21 games, score 11 for Martinez and 10 for Archer. I think these fellas have been giving one another shots at the table off of misses and mistakes and safeties and so on. So therefore, this really isn't the type of a match that I expected to see, because Martinez has really missed 3 or 4 balls that I really had never expected him to miss. Johnny the same. Okay, let's take a look at the 6th ball, the ball to the right of the rack, the wing ball, the corner ball on the right side of the rack. It's been going in about a good 90% of the time. Well, it missed again.
He's got a shot, though.
He certainly does have a shot.
Everything's clear.
And a nice shot. He does have a little congestion around the foot spot, the 4, 5, and the 9.
Maybe over the 3 a little bit with his cue stick.
But at least he has a nice angle to stay on the left side of the 3 after pocketing both a 2 and a 3. He'll be on the left side of the table for position for the 4 on the lower right-hand corner, if he plays it the way I think he will. Okay, now he's attained the angle I thought he would. He'll go cross table for the 4 in the lower right-hand corner. That will make him be able to deal with the 5 much easier. But of course, the position of the 6 is way up the other end of the table. So therefore, it's very crucial for him to get the proper angle on the 5 to go up table. How would you do it?
Well, I would have tried to play. I would have wanted to play straight in on the 4 there. But now that he's not straight in on the 4, he has a little bit of a problem. He doesn't want to brush the 5 going across it. He may pull it back and nip the 9. He may do it that way.
I don't know. I think he wants to stay in the position of the 4 ball or somewhere in that vicinity.
I don't think he has that option, though. I think he's going into the 5.
He wants to go into the 5. He doesn't think he's able to create that angle to do that. So therefore, he's actually faced with some sort of a dilemma here. He doesn't have really. Well, he was able to bypass the 5, which he executed that very nicely.
Yes, he did.
And he's gotten himself once again in real good line, because the 6 ball was the problem in this rack, considering the position of the 5 in regard to. I just don't believe that he did that.
Well, Mr. Martinez has ball in
I
hand.
don't either.
You know, I mean, he just got down and shot that shot without thinking.
I think he was trying to cheat the pocket a little bit.
Well, if you're going to cheat the pocket, don't you think it demanded a little more respect, a little more time on the shot?
He was trying to, yeah. Yes, but I think he was trying to cheat the pocket.
Well, each of these players have been rather benevolent toward one another, you know, in the respect that they've been giving one another opportunities that they didn't expect to get. And Rafael missed a 4 ball, giving Johnny a golden opportunity. Johnny took advantage of that opportunity, at least for one rack, turned around and gave Rafael an opportunity at the table, you know, an unexpected one. And it's getting late in the match. We're definitely into the stretch turn here. So after game 22, Martinez has a 2-game lead in a race to 15, leading in the match 12 games to 10. And every mistake hereafter, and it could be history for the person that makes it, because there's not much time left in the match.
12-10, excuse me.
No, there isn't much time. 12-10. Johnny's kicking himself. You know, there's a lot of mistakes that Johnny's made here. He missed a 2. He scratched on the 5.
There's the 2 ball directly into the corner pocket. Johnny throwing up his arms in disgust, seeing the ball go directly into the corner pocket. You know, if I were either one of the 2 players out there, I would want to take the seat away from the angle toward that corner pocket, because sitting in the chair, watching the balls break and the corner ball going directly into the corner pocket is like a stake in the heart, you know?
You're
every
right.
time. I wouldn't want
that.
to look at that every rack.
You're exactly right. I would have never thought of that.
Because as soon as the ball went into the corner pocket, you know, Johnny's body language indicated to me that he was really unhappy about it. Threw up his arms. You know, it's really aggravating to have that happen, let alone watch it happen, rack after rack.
Rack after rack.
And time's running out. It's something else to be concerned with, you know. But of course, when you're sitting in the chair, you're defenseless. You can't do anything about it.
Right.
Uh-oh. This is a distance shot here.
Yes,
There's a lot of distance between the cue ball and the 4 ball. I would say there's a good 6 feet in between the cue ball and the 4 ball. So therefore, this shot definitely demands an accurate hit.
Yeah. He hit her well. Rafael is playing good.
And if you notice, if you go back and take a look at this match, the balls that Rafael missed actually were the balls you didn't figure him to miss.
Right.
The difficult shots he was able to put down.
And he's still shooting right at 950, I think. He
miscued, and he's left himself a testy shot on the 9. He has to cut the shot very thinly into the corner pocket. But of course, the pocket may be a little forgiving, and may accept it if it's hit a little roughly, but he still has to hit it clean. He has to hit it cleanly. If he doesn't, I wouldn't be surprised to see it not go in. He was fortunate enough that when he did miscue to pocket the ball.
We'll be right back.
Hit it a little bit roughly, but it did take the pocket. The pocket accepted the ball. Okay, we're going to change tapes now, because we're going to change the tape now. We've run out of tape, but we'll be right back in just a second. We're back just in time to watch Martinez break the balls in game number 24. A race to 15. The corner ball did not go in that time.
Wow.
Johnny will make another appearance at the table. He doesn't have what you may consider an offensive shot, but at least he has a shot.
He's at the table.
That's right. Martinez could have frozen him in that chair for the remainder of the rack had he pocketed a ball and breaking him up with a shot, but that's not what happened. Archer does have a shot, so therefore he does have something to say about the outcome of this match. Both players are shooting well above world-class speed. Martinez is shooting on the total performance average a 947. Archer a 920.
Looks like that Archer's going to end up behind the 9 here.
I don't like the way he hit that. I send the 2-ball up table if I shoot that shot.
Yeah.
I force it behind the 9. I don't roll it behind the 9. When you roll it behind the 9, you're putting all your eggs in one basket, and that basket is behind the 9 with the cue ball because of the position of the 1 ball. Had he hit the 1 ball up table, he didn't necessarily have to position the cue ball behind the 9. The distance would have been an ally. But now he's allowed Johnny back at the table with the shot on the 1. If he can bank this cross side, this match will once again be very close, considering how important it is for the breaker.
Big shot right there, folks. Big shot. He's got a tough shot here. He's got a tough shot here to come around for the 3.
He's just going to hold it in that position. He's going to draw it back about another 8 to 10 inches. He's not going to use any rails here, buddy. I had a much better angle.
Would you have shot it that way, Bill?
Yeah, definitely. I don't like to hit rails and stuff like that.
You like shooting long shots?
Well, especially when there's traffic around, Because quite often the cue ball finds place behind another ball.
Wow.
No, once again, oh, no, this is fine.
He was a little shaky on the 3 then, Bill. The 3 went in a little wobbly.
Martinez holding a 3-game lead in the match, race to 15. 3 games at this stage in the match is very, very big, even when you consider
How big the pockets are.
and how often balls were pocketed on the break. It's still a big, big lead. Archer has a lot of work in front of him. He expects to win this match trailing by 3 games, 13 games to 10. A lot of work.
Yes, he do.
You see, because Archer cannot afford to make another mistake. Martinez does have maybe a little bit of air. Archer has none.
Huh. We have a close one.
And after game number 24,
24 games. Scores Mr.
Martinez 13 and Archer 11.
Mr. Archer 11.
Archer inspecting the rack, making sure that all balls are frozen. I don't believe he was able to put down the wing ball the last time he broke the ball, so therefore he's inspecting the rack, making sure all balls are frozen, giving himself his best chance of pocketing a ball or 2 on the break. He must pocket balls on the break. If he comes up dry off of the break, he may not make another appearance back at the table. There goes the 5, now the 6. He has a bank on the 1. The position of the 2, though, in between the 4 and the 7. Very, very difficult for him to pocket the 1 and come up with a shot on the 2.
Sure is.
So perhaps he may have to look for another route here. Maybe he have to play some sort of a safety.
He may bank this cross corner and go right into the 2.
Okay, that's an option. He's going cross corner, trying to go into the 4. Well, he missed the 4.
If he can hit the 2 thin enough, he can play the 2 right off the 4 right here.
I don't think that's available. I don't think that's available. The angle that the 4 is in relation to the 2 makes that a very difficult shot. It's further away from the pocket than you think that is. My vantage point is much better than yours. This is a very difficult shot he has for the 2 directly into the side pocket. Not much of an opening there. Very nicely done.
Yeah.
Bypassing his mark a little bit.
He's got another tough shot here.
It looks like he may have to go forward here, buddy.
Yeah.
It looks like he may have to go forward, sending the cue ball 2 cushions. And if he sends the cue ball 2 cushions, that side pocket may become very, very big if he applies either a little. Well, it doesn't look like he's going forward. No, I don't know what kind of an angle he has. Can you just stop the cue ball there?
I think so. We're real close. I know he can hit with a high right ball.
That's what he's using.
He overcut that ball a little bit, too.
Yeah, which made him even get a little closer to the 7 than he wanted to. But despite his ability to control the cue ball as accurately as perhaps you would have, he's still able to run the rack. And Tom come to within 1 game of the lead at 12 games to 13. Okay, he's doing everything he needs to do to surmount this lead of 3 games when the score was 13 to 10. Now it's 13 to 12. So therefore, once he is able to surmount the lead and tie up the score, he still has work ahead of him because he still
sure
needs 2
does.
more games. So that's why the 3-game advantage at that point in the match was very big, because you cannot afford to make any more mistakes for the remainder of the match. Now, once he ties up the match, now both players are under the pressure. Now, Martinez can't afford to make any more mistakes because they both have identical scores.
Right.
But Archer's the man at the table. He has control of the table, and he has been pocketing balls on the break. I don't know who to make a favorite from this position either. I do believe,
I believe the
though,
breaker's the
yeah,
favorite
I
from
do
right
believe
here.
that Archer has an edge, even though he trails by a game in the match, 12-13 in a race to 15. Even though he trails by a game, I still think that he has a slight advantage in the match. If the balls cooperate, no question.
Yeah.
Very important for him to control the cue ball. Whenever you're pocketing balls on the break, you must control the cue ball because you have to put the emphasis on cue ball control. The balls will take care of themselves. Cue ball control should be his priority right now. And look at the control of the cue ball. Executed that shot perfectly, positioning the cue ball in the center of the table. He has a shot on the 1. The balls are spread fairly nicely on the table. Position on the 2 is the key to this rack.
Do you play this 1 rail across, or you go 2 rails out of the corner?
I don't know, buddy. That's a tough question. You finally asked me a question I can't answer, because that 8 ball is a big, big ball playing at 1 rail across. If he draws the
And
ball,
the 4 ball's big, playing at 2 rails out.
that's right. He can find himself either behind the 4, or he can find himself hitting the 8 and creating a problem in that fashion. So therefore, this shot right here is a very, very crucial shot for the remainder of this rack and possibly the match.
He's looking at 1 rail down behind the 8.
Well,
Going
that's
1 rail and then
very high risk. There's a lot of traffic that way. I think he's electing to go 1 rail across. He doesn't really have that much. I don't know what he's doing here. He's
Oh, that's a nice shot.
I didn't think of that. A lot of traffic there. He was able to avoid all the interfering balls, the 9, 3, and the 8, giving himself a nice shot on the 2. And the only problem for the remainder of the rack will be positioned for the 5 to the 6, it looks like. Oh, used all the pocket
Yes,
there.
he did.
Overcut the 2 ball. That's why the cue ball got away from him. Had he pocketed the 2 ball in the center of the pocket, he would have been in line for the 3. But he hit the 2 ball too thinly. The cue ball escaped the area that he wanted it to end up in, and now he's created a problem for himself.
If he can't go between the 5-6, he's got a problem. He'll have to draw it 1 rail down between the 5-9 and back on the other side of the 9.
And can he hit enough ball to do that?
Yeah, I think so. Well, he's thinking about the outside of the 9. See, I'm thinking about the inside of the 9. Outside of the 9, real tough.
He's using left English. Left English suggests that after hitting the bottom cushion, he spins 2 cushions between the 5 and the 9. Now he's using right English and shooting your shot. Bottom cushion to the left of the 9 and went into the 9.
See, that's dangerous.
You went into the 9. I didn't think you would go into the 9.
No,
Because your shot was available.
He was trying to go under this side of it, I believe.
Okay, if he's able to pocket the 4 using a little bit of right-hand English, he should find himself back in line for the 5.
He wants to get as straight on the 5 as he can without taking a chance on hooking himself, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely. If he's able to attain the straight-in angle on the 5, all he needs to do then is pocket the 5, stop the cue ball for position for the 6 in the upper right-hand corner. So therefore, if he had the opportunity now to put ball in hand, he would put it straight in on the 5.
Well, that's about as good as you can hit it right there.
That's about as good as you can hit. It's not straight in, but definitely it will do. It's the proper side of the 5 to be on.
Boy, he's looking shaky.
Yeah, he let up a little bit there, you know. I mean, he's looking a little bit shaky is right. He wanted to hit that a little bit harder. He wanted more of a straight-in shot on the 6. He's got himself more of an angle than he wanted, but nevertheless, he was able to deal with it. And he's in pretty good line on the 8. It looks like he's going to hit the cushion on the other side of the side pocket, and then come cross table.
He may have gotten too straight in, but he may be dead straight.
Yeah, but I think he can create an angle.
He's drawing it. He was dead straight.
So he has been laboring this rack, finding himself out of line on the 3, also on the 4, and then a routine out from the 5, 6, 8, and 9. He found himself out of line on the 6 slightly, which put him slightly out of line on the 8, so he's showing signs of struggling here. But nevertheless, after 26 games, this match is knotted up, and he did it all himself. He trailed the match 10 games to 13. He's tied it up, and now it's 2 out of 3 for the championship.
Yes, it is.
Scores tied, 13 games apiece.
Yep, it's 2 out of 3 for 5,000 from right here. Nice talking to you.
What are you giggling about? I mean, I'd like to know.
Well, see, pay attention, Bill. You won't get lost.
I'm trying to pay attention.
No, that's what I was laughing
Have a little
at. Was,
compassion. I'm trying to pay attention.
what I was laughing about is he just jerked the rack off of it, threw it down on the table, and Johnny inspected the rack, and he had to pick it back up. I said, nice talk. Yeah, okay.
Well,
I'd hang on to it, wouldn't you? I believe
well,
I'd hang
considering that he racked them twice now, thinking that they were racked perfectly, and Johnny found the mistake in the rack, I would think he should hang on to it because obviously he doesn't see the rack as clearly as Johnny does. Therefore, he should hang on to it.
Yeah.
But I can't get over that Johnny sees little hairs on the balls all the time. You know, on the cue ball.
Yeah.
I'm lucky if I can see like their cue ball.
Johnny told me once that he was playing this guy, and the guy was racking the balls, and he said he could tell that they wasn't froze, but they were touching.
Well, that's really way too strong for me. I tell you that. 937 for Archer, 931 for Martinez.
That's the
Score, 13 games apiece. The stats, just about identical. What more can we ask for? Perfect stat keeper, perfect system, perfect players. That's really scary. He said that he could tell that the ball was not frozen, but they were touching.
Yeah.
You know how scary that is?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? That's really scary, you know, in regard to the rack.
Yeah. He said they were touching, but they wasn't pros.
Oh, my. Touch it with your left bros. Oh, my.
That's seeing pretty good, I would say.
Well, that's seeing things that average people just can't see, you know, or even above average. You have to be very special to do that.
I wouldn't have him doing anything since that corner ball's flying in. I wouldn't have nothing change.
Well, considering that the score is so close so late in the match, Johnny became very meticulous in his attention to the rack now, you know, and
He's hanging on to it this time.
oh, yeah, and, you know, he wants to make sure that the balls break open for him nicely because there isn't much time or length of left in this match. There's only a possible 3 games left. So therefore, in the next 3 games, we'll have a champion.
As our friend Dave said, 2 out of 3 for 5,000.
And when Archer was trailing by 1 game in the match, 12 games to 13, he was a favorite somewhat. And, he has proven that the break on this particular table is worth more than a game.
Yes.
at this stage of the match.
Could be worth the set.
Very, very possibly. Cue ball control once again. Stopping the cue ball once again in the center of the table. Here comes the 6. It's going to bring the 5 over. Archer's pulling for the 5 to get away from the rail far enough for him to be able to pocket the 2 past the 5. I don't know if he has enough room. I don't believe he has enough room to do that, but if he doesn't have enough room to do that, I look for him to position the cue ball behind the 5-6.
The corner ball flew in too. They made the corner and the side. Yeah, you duck here. If you're afraid to shoot, you just duck.
Well, I don't think he can shoot. So therefore, all he has is a duck. So therefore, he's going to have to understand that that's all he has is a duck. He'll get himself together and he'll shoot the shot. Positioning the cue ball behind the 5-6. Now he's looking at the 5-6 from the angle that he wants the cue ball to end up in, figuring that if I position the cue ball near that diamond there, oh, he hit it too softly.
That's perfect.
And that's fine. I thought that he struck it too softly at first. I'm dogging it up here. And I very rarely dog it up here, you know?
Yeah.
I happen to be probably one of the best booth players in the country.
Yeah, you have ball
Maybe
in
the
every
world.
shot, don't you?
Yeah.
You go across and kick it this. Here, you like I say again, you just want to hit it hard enough to get distance from the 2 balls. Distance from the balls. Distance from the balls is what he wants. He hit it really square.
And not only did he hit it square, and not only did he leave a shot,
He
but he
opened up
broke
the
the 6 free from the 5, which opened up the rack and has given Johnny really a golden opportunity to win this tournament. So in that respect, he's very ill-fated. Very ill-fated, opening up the 5 from the 6, creating an easy situation for his opponent this late in the match. I think Johnny's going to draw the cue ball back to the cushion and then cross table somewhat, getting closer to the 5. Falling on the left side of the 5, keeping that angle, which is ideal.
He'd like to have that angle again to go back to the 7.
He certainly would, but considering the position of the cue ball and the distance from the 5 the cue ball is in, I think he'll attain it.
Look out, it rolls downhill.
It does roll down. See it dip a little bit there?
Yeah.
Yeah, but not enough for Martinez.
Yeah.
Not this time.
Now, do you play it above the side?
Sure, you play above the side.
It rolls downhill.
I don't like the side of the 7 that he got on. I prefer the straight-in angle on the 7. Now he has to go to the right of the 8. And since the 9 is favoring this side of the table, I want to be on the left side of the 8. Just trying to add a little more suspense than what's out there.
You are. You're adding. Add on.
Oh, if he's straight in, that's not going to be good.
And straight in.
Okay. Now he's going to have to draw it by the side.
The side's not a factor. You know what's a factor here is the side rail.
Yeah.
Getting on the rail.
Yeah, that and speed of the draw. If he overamps there and he draws it back too much, he could find himself behind or beneath the 9.
See, this downhill coming this
Yeah, it's
direction.
downhill. Now he's found himself a little bit beneath the 9. He just didn't want this type of a shot because the likeliness of a skit is much more likely from this angle. He heard me. I'm sorry.
He missed it. Ooh, I thought he missed it. I thought he hit it full.
It looked like it kind of skidded just a little bit, you know. And it looked like he did it a little roughly.
Yeah, it looked like he hit
I
it a
don't know
little
if
full.
I don't know if it was due to the skid or if it just mishit it. But nevertheless, he was able to pocket the 9, finding himself only within 1 game of the championship. So therefore, he has actually frozen Martinez in the chair, other than the safety that he played, and Martinez got out of the chair only one time. Since the score was 13-10, Martinez has only got out of the chair once. And that one time he had kicked at the 2-ball.
Yeah.
And that was it. That was it.
That's controlling the game.
That's controlling the game. And he feels very comfortable right now. He feels like he's in total control, which he is. But you really can't allow that to distract you. And I mean that he still needs to concentrate, because this is it. This is all the marbles. One mistake, Martinez can get out of the chair and steal this match from Archer. This is it. This is his last break right here. The last opportunity he'll have breaking the balls.
Yes, and I believe I would like to take advantage of it. I wouldn't want to give up the break to a big breaker like Martinez at this stage of the game.
Nope. Martinez is hoping for either an ill-fated scratch, you know, something that will kick the cue ball into a pocket, or maybe even hooking the 2 balls, or one ball on the break. No, Martinez wants the 1 to crawl behind the 5, and it didn't do that. He has a shot. He's definitely in control of his destiny.
That's tough.
He's got a very, very long shot on the 1.
Has he got a slight angle?
He has a slight angle.
He'll go for the gusto.
The angle that he has suggests that after pocketing the 1, the cue ball will then go to the right side of the table, the long cushion, then to the short cushion, and then back up toward the center of the table for a position on the 2. And that's the ideal angle, because he can hit this shot with velocity.
This is dangerous here, boy.
I like this shot, you know, and
I have a tendency to hit it full.
well, he has the angle that he needs in order to play position for the 2. He has the angle. This is the shot, because all the other balls seem to be placed fairly nicely on the table.
How'd he do?
He did it perfectly. Okay, now it looks like he's gonna. Well, he's still not out of the
He's
woods
gonna come
yet.
3 rails here.
He's still not out of the woods yet. He really doesn't have the ideal angle to go 3 rails. And matter of fact, I think he's on the 50-yard line. He doesn't have the angle to go 3 rails. He doesn't have the angle to go across table twice.
Huh?
He doesn't have the angle to draw the cue ball back past the 3. So I think he's on the 50-yard line, so therefore he has options, and none of them are really that appealing. Now he's going 3 cushions. The 5 ball may be in the way here.
The 6 may go
Now
in
the
way.
6 comes into play. There's definitely an interfering ball with the 6. And I do believe the cue ball finally did come to rest,
He
and
is.
there's a gap in between
He's in a spot
the
here.
rail and the rail and the 6 ball, where he'll be able to bridge. Had
Yeah,
the
but
cue
he's-
ball went over to the right slightly, he may have had a much more difficult situation to deal
But
with.
look how big this corner pocket is from here, Bill.
Oh, he's going underneath the cue ball, buddy. He's not going toward the corner pocket. He's going to elevate here. See,
Oh,
see
I
the
didn't
gap
see
there
that.
between the 6 and the cushion? That gives him room to bridge.
Can he still hit the 3 and bridge there?
See, had the cue ball been over to the right slightly, or the 6 been over to the left, he would have had a big problem.
Well, yeah, he can make a bridge. He's a lucky man.
Oh
He
my!
was in a tough spot.
Oh my! He was in a tough spot, but he still had the
Rafael.
luxury to make a bridge.
Look at Rafael. He says, "Oh, I'm going to take a break." I'm going to take a break, he says. Yeah, break time, Pat.
Okay, now is a pretty good time for us to take a break, and we're going to be taking a break. We'll be back in just a moment. Okay, we're back in action. Martinez has just made his way back into the playing area, and now he's confronted with a 12 to 11 deficit, a 13 to 14 deficit in a race to 15. He has a shot on the 3. The balls seem to be open. It seems like they are. A couple balls on the rail. The 5's on the rail, the 6 is on the rail, creating somewhat of a problem, but really not all that much. He should be able to handle this situation. This shot has to be hit fairly cleanly. Tricky shot. Very nicely done. Excellent control of both direction and speed of the cue ball. Hit that a little harder than I expected him to hit it. Definitely harder than I would have hit it.
Ooh, he's thinking about following this ball, man.
Had he hit it softer, he would have had an ideal angle on the 70, which he could have reached.
He cheated the pocket then.
No, he cheated the pocket
How
to
good's he playing?
create the angle that he needed to fall nicely for the 9. This match is all tied up at 14 games apiece. That's where we started, didn't we? Tied up.
We started out even.
And now we're even again.
Martinez wins game 28. The match is tied, 14 games apiece. Ladies and gentlemen, can we have a hand, please, for Rafael Martinez, Johnny Archer?
Are we having fun yet?
You won.
Well, I'll tell you. Oh, by the way, before this tape goes any further, I would like to dedicate this tape to all the people that support Accu-Stats, particularly a couple by the name of Dalton and Kathy. Thanks a lot for supporting Accu-Stats throughout the years. And without you people, there wouldn't be any Accu-Stats. There wouldn't be any Buddy and me and Grady and all the other players up here in the booth. We appreciate your support. And so this game, this match, this tournament is for you guys. Corner ball, one on the side. He does not have a shot on. Here comes another ball down.
No
He
shot.
does not have a shot. It does not have a bank. He can't even see the 2. The worst possible thing that could have happened to him happened to him with the exception of a scratching, naturally, or fouling on the break. He doesn't have a safety. He's at a disadvantage. So the equity that he had in the break has now turned around, and the equity now has been, sways back to Archer. Now he has the equity in the match. So he's a favorite to win the championship because of the position of the balls.
Only one
Shot,
thing wrong
Mr.
with
Archer
that.
has the option.
What did he do with this shot, buddy?
You got to kick it to 2.
What did he do with this shot?
He pushed it down for a kick at the 2.
Can he see the side of the 2? He can see the side of the
If
2.
he looks right over the edge of the 9.
How much of the 2 can he see? Can he see enough of the 2 to position it up by the 7?
Billy, he's going to hit the 4. The cue ball's going to go with it if he does that.
Well, how much of the 2 can he see?
He's going to kick at the ball, Billy. If he shoots, he'll kick it to 2.
Well, if he can see enough of the ball to draw the ball.
I think he'll kick at it, Billy.
Well, I don't. Who is he?
Johnny, if he shoots, he'll kick.
Well, I don't know. I wouldn't want to kick.
He's going to say, Rafael, shoot. And then
Let's take a
Rafael's
look at
gonna kick
Rafael in the chair once again, Rick. This will be the last time we'll have an opportunity to do this. Once again, Rafael has the same expression as he had throughout the entire length of this match.
Rick, what's Rafael thinking? You told him to go.
I wouldn't want to be kicking here, but I'll tell you what, Rafael certainly did his job. He positioned the cue ball in an area on the table where he definitely gave Johnny something to think about. He gave Johnny a chance to make a mistake.
Yes.
Now he's back at the table at a disadvantage, I do believe, but at least he gave Johnny a chance to make a mistake, a mental mistake.
Okay, let's see if he kicks.
It's hard to pull the trigger, you know. In situations like this, it's really hard to pull the trigger, especially since
You know what he may
you're
do?
in such a delicate
He may
situation.
kick over the top of it with a high ball, try to kick the 2 into the 8 and land the cue ball up by the 7.
Well, he may make the 2 off the 8 then.
He tried to cut it in.
Yeah, that's what I figured he might do, try to cut it in.
Look at this. Look at this.
Oh
nine's
my.
dead.
Oh my.
He said, please be dead. Please be dead.
Well, I'll
Johnny
tell you,
said.
if it isn't dead, it's very, very,
It's dead.
very makeable.
It's dead. Johnny just looked at it. It's dead.
If the 9-ball is dead and ill-fated Martinez, walking back to his chair, played a wonderful tournament. Just a wonderful tournament.
I think it's dead. Johnny thinks it's dead, and Rafael thinks it's dead, and Billy's not sure.
And I think Rafael realizes that it's dead because it looked like a lot of life was drained out of Martinez. That was the expression that he finally showed. He showed like, oh, all this way I came, and it had to end like this. And it looks like it is dead. Martinez walking over to Johnny, shaking his hand. He's a gentleman. He's a fine, fine player and a fine man. Johnny Archer, the winner of the SANDS Region number 20. Martinez finishing second.
That's a brutal way to lose right there. Wouldn't you say that's a brutal way to lose?
Oh, it certainly is. You want to lose. If you're going to lose, you want to see your opponent at least have to run out the rack.
Yeah.
You know, you don't want to just see that the 2-ball finally come to rest where he cannot possibly miss the 9.
Can't believe he tried to cut the 2 in. Wow.
But stuff like that happens in life.
Wow.
He said, please be dead, please be dead. And when he looked at it, he knew it was wired.
That's amazing.
Okay, we're back live, and with us is Rafael Martinez, the runner-up in the SANDS Open tournament here. Rafael, you played brilliantly this week, and in my heart, I feel for you. It's a shame that the championship was decided the way it was. And I feel you feel the same way. Both of you guys played great in the final match, and unfortunately, Johnny was the victor here. That is for you. I don't know what to say, but you really played brilliantly this week. I'm really proud of you as a player and as a person. When you pushed out on the 2-ball there at the last game, what did you have in your mind?
Well, I want to go for the shot or play safe, but I don't have any other choice. I don't have a choice to play the cue ball any other place. I don't think I have a choice. So
Yeah, I don't think you had any options to push anywhere else.
Nowhere else, just there. And I just want to I want to see the ball, that's it, and then see what I can do.
I'll tell you one thing, that was an awful gutsy shot. You leveled off there and tried to fire it up in that corner. It took a lot of
courage. I know
courage.
the cue ball was going the other side. If I missed it, I know the ball is coming back, but it stopped right there in the 9-ball.
Right.
Leave the combination straight.
That was a hard way to win. That's one of the. That's a heck of a way for Johnny to win the match, and it's a terrible way to lose one. I feel for you. I was pulling for you all the way. Well, a good tournament, great tournament. I thought you played great the whole tournament.
Yeah, you played wonderfully the whole tournament, and like I said, unfortunately, you had to come down the way it did. You know, I know you would have much rather seen Johnny run that rack to win the tournament because
I want to run the rack, and I make 3 balls, and they got stuck
Yeah.
in the middle of the balls right there.
Right.
I tried to stop the ball now on this side of the table.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, anyways, congratulations on your second place finish, and good luck in all your future tournaments, Rafael.
Thank you.
Okay? Thanks for stopping up. Okay, Johnny Archer just stepped into the booth, and, you know, there was really a pressure-packed match the entire way. I mean, it was nip and tuck. One person had the lead, then the other person had the lead, and all the way down to the end. The score was 13-10 in favor of Martinez. You were asked to respond to the challenge. You did. You went ahead of him 14-13. You missed a 3-ball, gave him an opportunity back at the table. He broke the balls, he ran out that rack, then he broke the balls, making 2 or 3 balls on the break, only to find himself snookered behind 3 balls, actually with nowhere to push.
Yeah, where he pushed at was really the only place he can actually push to, not to leave me a shot somehow. And the reason I give it back to him, I couldn't get deep enough to kick to safe. I mean, normally you're going to kick safe and come back behind the balls, but I couldn't get in deep enough. I'm going to hit the 2 full with enough English, and there's a chance I can hit the 4 trying to get in, at that angle. So I just couldn't go down just shooting like that. At least if I give him the shot and he does kick to safe, I'm still going to have a shot. I'm still going to get the kick or have a
I
long
thought he
shot
might kick safe.
or something. But the thing about it was the kick safe was it was very tough getting in there. He couldn't get deep enough with enough draw. I don't think he could. I mean, it was just a shot that was so close by hitting the 4 with the kick safe, and he could see a piece of the 2, and I just definitely couldn't shoot it to 2 down the rail, to lose like that.
Let me ask you this question. What about the possibility of him kicking the other direction? In other words, not closely to the 4, but behind the 2 and kicking the 2 toward the direction of the 8, sending the cue ball possibly up table.
Yeah, that was a possibility. That's what I thought. When I seen him hitting high English on the ball, that's what I thought he was doing.
That's what I thought he was doing.
I said, I'm seeing him hitting high English. I said, I think he's gonna try to kick it down this way, and the cue ball go the other way. And I said, there's gonna be a slim chance that he won't get a rail. On that shot there, if you hit it full, you don't get a rail there. But a good chance. But if you hit it good,
speed.
But still, it's still going to leave me some kind of a shot because I don't think he could have snookered me anywhere. I don't think there's no way he could have snookered me.
I'll tell you, I thought it was a wonderful way for you to win the match and a heck of a way for him to lose it.
Yeah.
And like I was telling Rafael, I'm pulling for both you guys all the way.
Definitely.
You're both friends of mine. I pull as hard as I can for both of you at all times.
Now,
I just want to say, great tournament.
Well, thanks. And it's been a while since I won, and I finally, the last 2 or 3 tournaments, I quit. I stopped playing golf till next summer, and I've been quit for about 2 months now. And the last 4 tournaments, I've had 2 or 3 thirds, and I won one. So I guess it's a coincidence, maybe. But I just have to say that match was really, it was the Lord's work. Because that match here, I don't believe I deserved to win. I played good in spots, but then I really got nervous in certain spots and made mistakes. I mean, I kind of dogged it, to tell you the truth about it. I really did.
It looked like when you almost scratched up in the corner that your game kind of left you for just a little while.
Yeah, it did. I made 2 or 3 mistakes there where I had a chance to really close him out. I was ahead a few games. I missed a 1 in the side, then I made a couple more mistakes, and I really just couldn't close him out. I mean, I was really getting nervous, and then the more mistakes I made, the more nervous I got, to tell you the truth about it. And then when I looked and the 1-9 laid right there, I said, I just had to thank the Lord. That's all I could do. I mean, for it to land there, because if it don't land on the 9, I'm going to have a tough shot, a tough safe or something, because it's not going to be that easy. At least he's going to get another shot at the table.
Well, if it doesn't land the way it did land, it was still going to be a match.
It's still going to be a game, and we might still be playing it now.
Right.
And which I'd still be nervous. So I really thank you guys, and thanks a lot, buddy.
Nice
and Dylan.
tournament.
Thanks.
Anyways,
Appreciate it.
Anyways, Johnny, thanks a lot for stopping up, and congratulations for winning this event now for how many times now? This
4th time. You're tied with Mike Siegel.
4th time you won this event? You
I needed to win because I needed to tie Mike, because Mike might not ever be back.
Right. Okay, thanks a lot, Johnny.
Thanks, Billy and buddy.
Okay, buddy, it was a good tournament. The final match, it was an interesting and exciting final match, to say the least, I think.
Yeah. It was just different. It was different.
Yeah, it was different. And you never know what to expect when you're playing 9-ball, do you? And to go down that way, who in the heck wants to go down that way,
I don't mind winning that way,
No,
but I hate to lose that way.
I would love to win that way. And when both of the players out there are friends of yours and you have empathy for both players, fine for the person that wins, but for the guy that loses it like that, it's not fair.
It is. Well, I've enjoyed it, Bill.
Okay, I've enjoyed it too, so we're going to wrap it up, okay?
Okey-doke.
In behalf of Buddy Hall, this is Bill Incardona saying thanks a lot. Give Pat a call at 1-800-828-0397.